flying high. You know how I feel. Sun in the sky. You know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by. You know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day, it's a new life. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another race here for the Veterans for Life ARCA series in Sweet Home, Georgia. I know I've said Sweet Home, Alabama before, but Sweet Home, Georgia, right down the road from where I live right here in Rome, Georgia, Atlanta Motor Speedway, the site for, once again, like I said, a Veterans for Life ARCA series. Good evening, folks. I am the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves. Got the Australian Dean Biggles up here in the booth, going to be giving us some great camera angles. He's going to be doing a little producing, a little bit of announcing as well. Dean, I'm telling you, I'm absolutely fired up for this because this is, in my opinion, one of the best tracks on the iRacing service.
Well, it is just because it's your home, one of your home tracks, right? You got this one in Talladega. Which one's closer actually to you? I didn't ever ask you.
It's a close tie. I think Atlanta's probably maybe, I'd say, an hour and a half, and Talladega more or less hour and a half from Rome where I live at. But there you see the schedule. Obviously, Talladega not on the schedule. Kind of wished it was, but it's not on the schedule. But there you see, honestly, three great tracks. I mean, we had an awesome race last week at Dover. Jake Ellingson ended up getting the win. Then we're here at Atlanta. Next week's going to be at Michigan. Then we go to Homestead, which, in my personal opinion, it's like I said, Atlanta obviously has a home track. It's my favorite. But Homestead is the track that a lot of drivers out here, Dean, they absolutely love Homestead Miami Speedway because the old surface, how it's beat all to hell and everything else. Every one of these drivers love it. Then there you see Darlington, Kentucky, Richmond, Vegas, and they're going to wrap it all up at the Magic Mile, the Milwaukee Mile, the way I look at it. Going to be wrapping that up on May the 9th, 2024. There you see the points as everybody's getting graded up. Andy Kurtz, obviously, he's got them 4 wins. Jake Ellingson, like I said, won last week. He knows how to do it on concrete. We're going to see if he can do it here at the Super Speedway of the new build here in Atlanta. And Lucas Lyons, he's got that win. Check out that cut line, folks. Very, very, very tight right there. Matt Knights, he's 4 points above that cut line. The Oreo man, James Haney, back there 4 points below that cut line. Anything can happen here at Atlanta. You get a win, and guess what, folks? You are in that playoffs. And here we go. We're going to line them up, and on the front row, oddly enough, Tanner Bethea, he's going to be on the pole. And, folks, I kid you not, by 1/1000th of a second. I'm not even joking. Got a 31.810 to Jake Ellison's 31.811. You cannot make that up. And then, oddly enough, I mean, there's the top 4. Jamie Mullins got a 813. Andy Kurtz got a 816. I'm not making this up, folks. That's just how tight it is. But that's your first 2 rows. With Stephen McDonald, he's going to start in the 5th spot. Timothy Williams will start in the 6th spot. James Kaufman and Ryan Pendleton. Talked about Pendleton last night in the Next Gen Series at Michigan here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. He done a fantastic job coming home in a 3rd place finish. Brandon Wallace is going to start 9th with Michael McCarthy. He's going to round out the top 10. Matt Knights, we saw it a minute ago. He's right there on that cut line. He needs to have a good night here tonight in Atlanta. He's going to roll off in P11 with Cameron Mason starting in P12. Sean Pope McCarthy, he's going to start in P13 with Jeremiah Holt in 14th. Oh, Doug Ellenson out there. He's going to start in the 15th spot with Alex Cruz starting 16th. Stephen Bartlett will start in the 17th spot with Chance Taylor in 18th. Mark Hollifield will start 19th. And Cameron Wissenberg will start in 20th. He's the last driver to take a time. Lucas Lyons, he did not take a time, but he's going to be back there in the back with Brian Abbott, John Anthony, Eric Talent, and the Oreo man right there on that cut line, as I mentioned, James Haney. I'm telling you, Dean, we were talking about this. I'm fired up for it. I know you're fired up for it because we can see a lot of action and possibly a big one here tonight.
Oh, it should be fun. And big shout out there. Thank you to the very kind words from Ray as of yesterday about how much he thoroughly enjoyed the broadcast work that we do here. Our commentary duo as well too there, Jacob, as well as of course all the fantastic production here behind the scenes of the Nazareth 360 network. And of course Jake is on that field starting in P2, so hopefully Ray will have something else to smile about as well this evening. We'll see how Jacob get on. I believe we have a couple of new drivers, or at least a new driver on the grid too, that spoke to us yesterday in the chat saying they're going to be signing up to race tonight. We'll see how they pan out. Can't remember the driver there, Jacob. We shall see soon.
Yeah, that's going to be very interesting. It'll be very interesting to see what happens, but here we go. Tanner Bethea, Jake Ellingson on the front row. We got a green flag. Bethea, he actually got on the gas so damn hard the whole back end started sliding around. Jake Ellingson, he's going to drift back just a little bit into a side-by-side battle with J.B. Mullins. Here comes Stephen McDonald. He's up on that bottom side now. He started in the 5th spot, and he's trying to ease up here and get him another spot. But up front, Tanner is trying to check out Jamie Mullins right behind him as everybody's starting to fan out 2 wide, maybe even looking 3 wide at a couple spots way back there in the back. But he has it. Here comes Jake Ellingson. He's going to get a run on the top side. He's got Wills right behind him. But Jake trying to work this top side and try to get up here and try to get around Tanner Bethea.
Trying to get a little push from behind him, which he needs from the 17 machine. He said at the moment that's Timothy. It might work. He's just hovering in that P2, 66 machine of Jamie. He's giving Tanner a nice push on the inside line there. The laps are coming down thick and fast, 79 to go. Good wheel-to-wheel racing on this grid of about 25. I don't think Andy's starting in this one, maybe race control, but 24 Gladiators in Bama.
Bama, we in
Georgia,
Georgia, son.
Georgia.
That's how we roll. Yeah, we in Georgia, son.
Oh, caution Speedway.
Absolutely. Caution's out once again. I believe it's Mark Hollifield in the 29. You was able to catch that one faster than I could, Dean. How about that? Wow. I mean, I think it was just a little bit of a bump draft gone wrong, folks. I mean, that's exactly what it was just a little bit of a bump draft gone wrong. You'll see it right here on the instant replay. Hollifield, wow. I'm not real sure if that was just a bad bump right there. It's just, whoo. He just got slammed right there. Big time right there. Just got slammed straight in the back end. And thankfully, everybody behind him able to slip by and miss it. And I'm telling you, that could have got really, really big right there, Dean. I mean, that could have got really, really big, even though he got jacked up from the back end. There was still about 6 or 7 cars that could have just came in there and straight up cleaned him out.
Yeah, we can have a look at that. We have a new little feature here this evening if you want to show everybody that one there, Jacob, at the moment. So we can have a look at that while I'm keeping an eye on the front end of the grid if they're going to be going. They won't be boxing just yet, but pitting, of course. But yeah, if you want to have a look at that replay back again, look at this. Fairty new, first of Nazra Network here, a picture-in-picture there, courtesy of Jake. So Jake's going to give you a little on-board view of what happened in that accident.
Yeah, I mean, this is just riding on board right here with Hollifield, and then there we go. He just kind of drives in, and at this point, I mean, he don't even know really what's going on. Maybe checked up a little bit for the 39, and then at that point, you just see smoke all over the place. He is just holding the wheel, just praying at that point. I mean, he wasn't even turning left. He's obviously turning left, trying to get it straightened back out. But at that point, he wasn't even worried about trying to go left, right, anything like that. He was just trying to get that car straightened out as best as he could. And wow, I mean, that's pretty cool, Dean, that we was able to get that to work right there. Awesome, man. That was absolutely awesome to get it to work out correctly.
I think he's got a picture of somebody on the side of the car. They couldn't quite see that for a second that he had up there, but absolutely. Excellent.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a little bit of a throwback, I guess you could say, for a Kevin Harvick kind of deal. But that's pretty cool, Dean, and it all worked out perfectly, buddy. I'm telling you, we was worried about that before the show, and it all worked out perfect. So good deal to see that right there. But I'm telling you, Tanner still got that lead up there. JB Mullins gonna be right behind him. Obviously, I mean, it's like you was talking about, Dean. I didn't see anybody really wanting to jump in and go down pit road right. I mean, at this point, I'm obviously way too early. This place, it has started to weather just a little bit. Obviously, you know, we saw that earlier on in the year when the next gen cars ran. And obviously, they put on a hell of a race. The Cup cars did, or the real NASCAR Cup cars did. But this place is starting, like I said, it's starting to get some age in it. So tire wear will come into play. I mean, this place has only been repaved for the past 2 years. Then it started in 2022. So it is still a super speedway, but said it is starting to show its age, I guess you could say.
Very interesting. Did not know too much about that. That's what will require your expertise. Welcome everybody to the chat. George Jewell, of course. Go get him, boys. Good little battle he had yesterday with Jacob and a few of the other drivers. Wesley out there, the 00, and of course Richard May out there. It's good luck, 82. Brian Abbott. And where's Brian? Brian's currently at the moment they're done him 17th, give or take 16th and 17th. There he is. He's gained 5 positions for the 82 machine. And the 00, where's the 00? That's John. Right there at the back of the field, but that's nothing just yet, my friend, as you know. Plenty of time to go with 76 laps at least to get something done. Pit stops, of course, to come. And those pace lights should be off the iRacing pace truck, and we should get ready to do another lap and under green flag conditions. By the way, thank you, everybody. We're at 504 subscribers. We just reached 500. We've got another extra 4, so we're cruising along, my friend.
Absolutely cruising right along. Pace car is off. Tanner Bethea jumps on the gas. This time the back end doesn't step out like it did at the start. And he is straight up checking out, and he is straight up gone. But Jake Ellenson, he ended up restarting in the 3rd spot, so he was able to ease down on the bottom side. He's going to jump up and get in behind Tanner Bethea. Jake trying to go on a little bit of a winning streak right now. Obviously won last week at Dover. Jamie Mullins right behind him. Timothy Williams right behind him as well. And then there's where we see the first side-by-side battle with Stephen McDonald. Maybe, maybe not. Jake, he took a shot, tried to go up to the top, but to no avail. Tanner Bethea still has the lead. Jake's going to jump right in the draft. And Dean, these guys have got to be very, very careful with that red and white line down there on the bottom. You cannot go down there to improve your position, you will get black flag. So these guys, that's why you see a lot of them ease it up, as we actually got one spinning back there in the back, able to barely save it. Wow. Hard racing right here in these ARCA cars. I'm telling you, D, there's action all over the place. That's why I love this place.
Yeah, that's Steven. If you want to get perhaps a little bit of a replay of that one for a second, if you want to, Jacob, because we can also do that, my friend. Well, we still have action, if you can. Of course, I know you're really busy at the moment, trying to keep an eye on the race. And Jake's taking the lead of this one, currently around the outside 27. There's a little puff of smoke there as well too, Jacob, but we won't worry about that. There's too much action at the front here to focus on. There's 5 cars, and then a huge bit of a gap, as you can see, back to the rest of the pack.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I've got it right here, Dean, if you want to check a look at it right here, because I've actually got it right here, because it was a very, very interesting deal. You're going to see McDonald. He's going to be right here in front of that 69 right there. And then there goes McDonald. They go in the corner, and just a little bit of a back bump just gone wrong right there. Gets tagged in the back end, and he was able to save it down on the apron. It's a good deal for McDonald, but we got a battle for the lead. Jake Elling set up on the top side. He's going to get some help. Tanner may be hung out to dry for the lead.
There you have it. Look at that. It's starting to catch the rest of the pack. You can start to see slowly starting to catch up to them because of the fact that they're all racing, solid racing. No 3 wides yet, Jacob. I don't know if you really recommend 3 wides around here at Atlanta, but... And what, as you said, if you get over to that red line over there, how much damage is that really going to cost you when you hit up the inside apron there?
I mean, when he got turned right there, I mean, it's probably, I mean, you probably get a little bit of a nose damage probably because, I mean, obviously you're going from a big time banking, obviously way the heck up there, probably about 28 degrees, obviously here in these turns. And then you come down to damn near flat surface, I guess you could say. Obviously, when you scoop it down, it's gonna jack the front end of the car up, or
have a look,
jack the front bumper up anyway. But that's basically what it's going to look like. So yeah, I mean, it can cause a little bit of nose damage, but it just depends on how you hit it as to whether or not you get it right. Check out the gyro cam. I mean, that's right there is what you get right there, Dean. I mean, literally almost kicked all the way up on the left side. That's how these corners is here in Atlanta. Wow, the 69 back there, Brandon Wallace, I believe it is. The 39. No, that is Stephen Bartlett. We got one over on its roof. Lucas Lyons in the 48 just had flipped over on his roof and is sliding down into the quad oval. There you see riding on board with him. Holy hell, Dean, what a crash right there.
Yeah, that was huge. Just caught the end of that one, actually, as well, riding on board. Because I was just going to ask you, actually, do you tilt your head when you're turning into a corner? Of course, you're not driving a gyro cam. But do you tilt your head? And you can have a look at that replay as well, too. We'll do a little picture-in-picture action. But who was it, do you think, that started that off? Because I'm seeing some entrance of drivers going to pit road, but they didn't go on the pit road. Maybe it was Jamie here. Oh, here it is. We'll have to back it up.
I think it honestly was the 39. I think it was the 39. He kind of drove in there. Oh, no, actually, there was a stack up in front of the 39. Yeah. It was actually the 69. I get the 9s mixed up there just a little bit. That was Michael McCarthy in the 69. He ends up getting up into Brandon Wallace, who was in the 99. So yeah, they were right there together. And then McCarthy ends up getting spun right here, but then he's just trying to gather it back up. He didn't go down as low as the other drivers did. He ends up getting into the 39. And I mean, damn, Dane, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it didn't really look like he got touched right there, honestly. But McCarthy able to get away. Wallace and the 39, I mean, they just got scrambled up, and there you see Lucas Lyons. Wow, what a ride up there. Dane, I got a feeling we may see a picture right here. We may get an onboard cam right here from Lucas Lyons.
If you go an onboard camera, that's going to look quite fantastic, actually, because let's have a look at that one when you're ready, Jacob, as well, too, because I want to take on the external adventure of his drive to survive, and then you can take us on an onboard, and we'll have a look at that one, because that's quite fierce.
Yeah, let's hit it right here. I mean, you see him going into turn 3, and then actually we're still just a little bit, but there you go. And then you're going to see Lyons, bam, just get slammed right here. And then bam, gets hit in the back end. He keeps going and going, and then eventually he's going to go over on his lid. Sorry, we're not timed on sequence with that, but I mean, that's what you end up seeing down there on the bottom. More or less the same thing. And there you see sparks flying all the way around. Everybody else back there just trying to find a way to get around. There's old Dougie. Boy, I'm sure Dougie probably got a good view of that right there. May have to get Dougie's point of view right there because...
Yeah, I'm actually going to try it on the big screen at the moment, have a look at that one, my friend, and see how it is inside his car. There it is. As we take a bite, as he gets hit, he's sitting there at the moment as a passenger. Take your hands off the steering wheel so you don't break your hands. And then bingo, you're on for a sliding ride. That was like the IndyCar that did it last year, wasn't it? Indy 500. Went up on the roof. And there you have it, my friend.
Yeah, that's a hell of a slide right there. Well, folks, while we have actually, no, I think the pace lights is off, Dean, so we was going to take a quick commercial break, but we're going to stick right here. Don't want you to miss any of this green flag action, so if we get another caution, we'll make sure to get those sponsors thanked. But, Dean, I'm telling you, this place, I'm telling you, you see some crazy stuff. I was talking about a big one a while ago. We just saw it.
Yes, you did. It's because it's good wheel-to-wheel racing, of course, here for the ARCA series. It's inevitable they're going to eventually come together like that, and big crashes. And how much is that really going to affect it? Because we've got almost half the field at the moment there, Jacob, have been down into pit road.
Well, I mean, a lot of those guys, they may not actually be going down pit road because of damage, honestly, Dean. You know, a lot of those guys may just be going down pit road to just go ahead and just go to the back. They don't want to get caught up in any of the mess back here. But it seems like some of those guys may end up going to the back, and then the mess finds them. So, I mean, you really got two options, in my opinion, as far as super speedway racing. Be at the very front or be at the very back. You don't want to be in the middle, because that's where all the chaos is. And we're going to see how this works out. Pace cars off. Tanner Bethea, Jake Ellingson back on the front row. Bethea, he is getting some fantastic restarts in this race, Dean. He checks out. Jake Ellingson right behind him. Mullins right behind him as well. And Wilms trying to run this bottom side. Here comes Ryan Pendleton. Don't count that 23 out. He knows how to get it done. He knows how to get on the podium. That's where he was at last night in the next-gen cars. But Pendleton thinks about trying to get a run on the top side. Brandon Wallace is going to get in right behind him. They may end up trying to take a run as Jake Ellison's going to take a run on Tanner for the lead.
And again, Jacob's going to see if he can get ahead of Tanner. Or they're going to switch a route just in the background there. Jamie's going to give somebody a little bit of a push. It looks like he's going to give Jake a push. And the 23 as well. The 17 needs to get up on the back of Jamie and give him a little bit of a push, as you do have to work together at the moment until, of course, you get down to the final 10 laps, and then you can well, you did see it actually in some of the races earlier this week that the drivers are going to work together a little bit. You saw it, wasn't it, the other night there, Jacob, when you saw that big push at the end and trying to catch up to our race. Was that last night? To our race leader, of course, who had that massive gap.
Yes,
I think it was.
yes,
right.
It was. I mean, yeah, and you literally have one guy on the bottom, one guy on the top. He was trying to get the run. That way he could just not even have to worry about the guy having to lift to try to get back to his back bumper. The guy on the top was able to get the runs and just come right up behind him and slam him in the back end. You got to be careful in these cars. You do not want to do that, because we have seen with these cars, obviously you see the car model, the back end's jacked up, the front end's like a snowplow. You can easily get up behind somebody. We've already seen it happen with the 69 of McCarthy. We saw it a while ago. He ends up getting tagged in the back end, just a little just a little bump, and it just jacked the back end up, and he goes spinning around. So, I mean, that is what it is. We actually got another caution on the Speedway, and it's way back here in the back, trying to actually find exactly where it is, Dean. But from what I'm seeing, actually, yes, it was a little bit of a stack up back here in the back.
This car looks pretty dinged up at the moment, so it probably was John. Have a look at that. It doesn't look too good for the 00 machine. Sorry there for Wesley Lynch that was supporting that man. Which is John. See if you can find that one for
the 41.
The 41.
Yeah, I'm seeing the
James.
41. It was John. Yes, it was James Kaufman. And actually, I got it right here on picture.
Thank you.
If you wanted,
yes.
Yes, I got it right here. So here's basically what happened with Kaufman. We'll get it lined up, and you'll get an idea to see exactly what happened. So Kaufman's going to drive in right here. There was a little bit of a checkup up in front of him. Kaufman gets in there. 68 goes around. Dougie got a little bit of airborne right there, Dean. Got shot up into, or basically in outer space, I guess you want to say. May end up having a little bit of lagging going on my end.
Yeah,
so sorry about that. But
Kaufman,
yeah, a little bit of lag. Well, folks. All right. Well, folks, we're just going to take we'll take a quick commercial break and let these guys go ahead and ease down pit road after we see the replay. There's what exactly happened right there. Dougie gets into the 68, but it was all a stack up that was up right there at the front of Kaufman.
Yeah, into the 68, and there's Kaufman that gets knocked around. There's the 68, and there's the concertina effect that happened. That's why the 00 had damage. All right, back in just a moment after the short commercial break.
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Folks, we're back here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. There you saw what just transcribed or transpired, however you want to look at it, Dean. Brandon Wallace, he is the man of the hour. He decided to stay out, forego even going down and getting fresh boots, as you say, or getting filled up with fuel. He decides, you know what, screw it. We're going to keep it up here at the front. Guess what? James Haney, how about this? Mr. Haney, the Oreo guy. Started this race 25th, dead last. Now he's up to second with Talent, Eric Talent, that is. Started 24th, now he's up to third. And then also right up there on the outside, Sean Pope McCarthy. He's going to be in that fourth spot. And Jake Ellingson and Jamie Mullins, they're going to round out the first 3 rows. But Dean, this is normal to see something like this happen right here with guys way back at the back. May see some chaos go on. They don't want to be back there and all that. They want to try to get up there to the front.
I would say, yeah, I would say the front's the safest place to be, because if there's any incidents, generally are only going to be lap cars if you get to the point where you start catching up to lap cars. So, yeah, safest place to be. Anywhere else, good luck. You've just got to basically just close your eyes, point the steering wheel in one direction, and hope you don't get involved in a wreck.
We'll see what happens. I mean, it's going to be a very, very interesting race so far. I mean, obviously 60 laps go. Long time. I mean, none of these guys can make it on the fuel that they have, Dean. So, I mean, I see, I kind of see what they're doing. Obviously nobody can make it, but it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen eventually on these restarts. Looks like we're going to get one more lap to go. And obviously want to give a huge shout out. Got Miss Ray Ellingson out there in the chat. Dean, you talked about it on the broadcast just a second ago, that she said some very, very kind words to me, or well, to you rather. She sent some very kind words to you as well as Brady LaBeouf on the broadcast of how we've been doing. So very, very thankful to have her give that. So very good. I mean, shout out to you, Miss Ellingson. Thank you very much for every bit of that. Also, George Joel out there. I'm telling you, we got. He's out. I mean, he put in the live chat, no bad blood between me and Jake. We was just racing hard and clean. Well, we knew there wasn't no bad blood. I mean, hell, that was just entertainment. What the way we was putting it up, Dean. You know us. So,
Yeah.
But I mean, appreciate all the love that we get. All the shout outs and everything. And Dean, I'm sure that you appreciate it 100% as well.
Oh, we absolutely do, of course. So it makes our work that we do really, really pay off. And it's all about the fans out there. And of course, the drivers are the ones that put the show on. We just try to produce it and commentate it to the best of our abilities. That's something you want to ask, I think, Jake. And of course, where is Dougie? Have Dougie, Jake, and Ray perhaps on your Doorbang and Download show, because it'll be also interesting to listen to the ladies behind the scene too, and what they have to endure through while their family members and everybody are driving. I don't know. It's up to you. I'm not going to cast it. But another thing I'm going to tell you, James in P2. He's made a pit stop, as well as Eric. They've made a pit stop back on lap 12, but they're 23 and 21 positions gained at the moment. Not too bad as you're about a quarter through the race.
Yep, here we go. And Brandon Wallace, he's actually, once again, the leader. The leader, Dean, is getting some fantastic jumps, some fantastic restarts. And Brandon Wallace in that 99, he's able to do it. Eric Talent, he's He's going to jump down right in front of Jake Ellingson. Oreo man, James Haney, he actually slips back just a little bit, but he's going to slide right into that 4th spot with Ryan Pendleton, who was right behind him. But here comes Tanner Bethea. He actually restarted that last restart in the 8th spot. Tanner is on a mission, started on the pole. He's going to jump down to the inside of Haney. Here comes Jake Ellingson for 2nd. There you see the 20. Tanner shoots the bottom right there with Haney. Now Haney trying to put the block on Pendleton, but up front, Brandon Wallace trying to hold it down. But here comes Ellingson trying to go for the lead.
Again, he likes to be out the front at the moment, which is also doing him quite a good favor because he's avoiding the fact of being caught up in potential wrecks. So we'll see how it pans out for him. He's clearly got a nice advantage at the moment. He gets past James. I wonder if this is because of tyres. Of course, Brandon, remember, has not gone down pit road. So his boots are a little bit more worn, my friend. And that we saw it just last night as well, too, in the race, isn't it? How much you get eaten alive by the cars with the fresher tyres.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what you see right there. But, I mean, it's like I said, this racing is a little bit different, honestly, than Michigan was, Dean. I mean, this is super speedway. It's like I said, this place is starting to take some age. It's still relatively new, still got a relatively new surface, I guess you could say. But look at this right here, folks. I mean, you only see this kind of racing right here in Atlanta, Talladega, and Daytona, where we started off the season. That's where Andy Kurtz went on a 4-race win streak to start off the season. But Andy's not been able to try to do anything like that. Actually, Andy, way back here, started in the 4th spot. He actually had to start from the pits, went 2 laps down. These cautions that we've been having is able to help that number 8, Andy Kurtz, but he's still back there mired in traffic in the 18th spot, trying to sneak his way through there. You can't miss him, folks. It's the reddest car out there on the track. Obviously, the number 8 Budweiser of Andy Kurtz, but up front, Haney, James Haney, the Oreo man, up on the top side with Pendleton. Jake Ellingson got Brandon Wallace right behind him.
Yeah, there he is, and he's got 7 laps older tyres than Jake, but he's still holding on tight there for 24 positions gain. There's a wreck.
Oh, we got a wreck.
It was huge.
Tanner Bethea, the 20 gets slammed, and then straight up into the wall. Alex Cruz goes flying up into the fence. The 17 of Wilms gets in it. A big one, literally almost the whole damn field, Dean, gets piled up in 3 and 4 after Tanner Bethea in the 20 got shot straight up, head on into the wall, and then chaos ensued.
And again, another big wreck, which is another reason why you want to be at the front of the field, because then you're just looking at your mirrors going, what happened? Starts around Timothy, I think. I mean, there's a whole bunch of race control messages that I have up on my screen. There's this red everywhere, which indicates carnage. And let's see where it all starts. That's the 20, right? The 20 gets loose, or the 20 gets pushed by the 69. He's trying to save it. He's trying to save it. As you said, these cars are loosey-goosey in the rear end, and bingo. Oh, big airborne time, so you can almost drive directly underneath him. If I was the 00 machine behind, I just would have planted the gas and said, okay, I'm going right under you, my friend.
Oh, man, and then Alex Cruz thought he was going to be able to get through there. He ends up getting tagged in the right rear, ends up getting spun around, and then Timothy Williams also, and then, wow, John Anthony, he's just in a hellacious mess right there, to be honest with you, Dean. I mean, he's caught up there on the top side. He's got nowhere to go. There you see more drivers sliding through back around where the turn 4 area is. But it all started with it was just a checkup. And then somebody didn't get the memo. Usually, Dean, that kind of stuff happens. It's just it's nothing intentional, obviously, but he gets on the brakes, or not necessarily on the brakes, he just gets off the gas. 69, wow, and then 2 snowplow effects right there, Dean. And then you actually had to go to a different camera because the damn camera cut out because it was tore up out of that. That's how hard it was right there. And there you see Alex Cruz, he almost tried to get through it. Just chaos all the way around. Andy Kurtz, the number 8, he actually got caught up in it as well. Just some serious chaos of a wreck right there. I got a feeling that's just going to flip this sucker over on its lid. Yeah, look at that. Got more airtime than a skateboard at the X Games. Holy hell. Good Lord.
Yeah, and then after that, it's just, you're on your own. Good luck at that one. And then, of course, it's Constantino effect, isn't it? But that's a lot of cars, once again, that were involved. Which means you put most drivers down into pit road again. Tell you what, those pit crews are going to be quite busy because we're just getting on 30 or so laps done in this race with 52 to go. Welcome everybody, of course, for tuning in. Thank you. 16 of you watching. A lot of very expensive cars getting wrecked at the moment, but thankfully it's not coming out of their salaries, and it just gives a little bit more time for Jake and Ryan and Eric, of course, who's up 21 places, and these other drivers to make their way back up. But Tanner's in pit road. Stop it on a dime, thank you. And Matty is in there. Jeremy's a lap down. Dougie's out, at least it's not this time around rather than yesterday. He's not sitting in pit road, isn't he, for practically the whole race, getting that car fixed. Steve is, and Steve Barnett's been sitting in here, has been sitting in here for some time, almost 11 minutes and change, so I'm not quite sure he's going to be getting himself back out there, but I don't know. If you can get that car fixed in time, you still have time, considering the amount of yellows that we've cautions, the fourth one that we've had so far. You said that, didn't you? Who was the driver that's already managed to catch back up again? Now, pole sitter under those blues.
Yeah, I mean the pole sitter was Tanner Bethea actually.
Yeah.
Here in this race, Dean. So, but he was the one that got the air time. He's the one that flew up in the air. Tanner, I mean, obviously, Dean, this is completely different from what we see in the Monday night series, the DSR Electric Truck Series here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network, and also on the Friday night Cops Truck Series. This is different. This is just like the Next Gen series that ran last night, the Cruising Classics Next Gen. These guys do have a faster pair, so I got a feeling Mr. Bethea ended up burning that faster pair as well as a bunch of them. Pace car off. Jake Ellingson, Ryan Pendleton on the front row. Jake gets a pretty good jump, but not the best jump that we have seen so far this evening. Ryan Pendleton, he's up on that top side trying to make it work right behind him. Mullins and Talent. They're going to try to find a way. They're going to try to work together. Maybe, maybe not. Pendleton still trying to ease up, get some kind of draft, try to get a run. Jake's going to try to throw the block. Here comes JB Mullins, looking 3 wide. They are. Pendleton stuck in the middle. Mullins up top. Here comes Eric Talent for the lead.
You wanted a 3 wide. I wanted a 3 wide. We got it there, Jacob. And they're going to slot back into the single columns, of course. 2 wide back up again there. So just like that, Jake on the outside there. So Eric right up into the lead of this race there, getting that nice little push there from the remaining cars. G'day out there, Dean. Dean's asking what's up, Dean. Dean, I'm doing good, thank you, Dean. And how are you, Dean? So 32 of 80, my friend. 49 to go, soon to be 48.
Yeah, we're very, very close to approaching halfway. 69 back there. Like McCarthy gets a little bit sideways, tries to lock it down right in the middle of the track. And caution is on the Speedway, but he locked it down right there. He just lost it right there a little bit in 3 and 4, and then tries to get it down the apron, and then tries to lock it down. And oh, wow, I am amazed. Watch this right here, folks.
Break?
This is going to get crazy. Something happened with that 69. Yeah. I have never seen anything like that in my life. No, he just locked it down.
Yeah, it goes into the inside apron, and then that car's jammed. Oh, that to me, that's a malfunction. That is, something's broken in it. I mean, realistically, of course, because it's a racing sim, I'd say something at home has happened, like a cat's jumped on your lap or a dog's jumped on your lap or something in your racing rig as you're driving, and then or pedals come loose or anything like that. You know that in these racing rigs, don't you? Anything can happen. That's what it seems to me like, because he went out on the apron because he knows that something's probably up, right? And then, of course, he couldn't stop that machine in time.
Yeah, I mean, for a second, it kind of looked like he actually was going a little bit left. I thought he actually got loose, and then he just kind of locked it down. So, I mean, yeah, Dean, you're right, actually.
You wouldn't lock it up like that, would you?
Right
no
there.
way you'd lock it up like that. Not in the middle of the Speedway. That's got to be...
Not for that long.
Yeah.
Not for that long. I mean, even if you did get a little bit loose, I mean, you still try to lock it up, but then once you got the car straightened back out, you'd hit the gas and try to carry on. But folks, we're actually seeing a couple guys actually easing down pit road right here. There you see back there, I believe that is Mr. Haney back there in the 55. I believe it is. So he's actually going to sit on pit road. He's going to take him a quick pit stop. We're going to take a quick pit stop real quick, folks. Let you hear from some of our sponsors. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Folks, we're back here at Atlanta. Everybody getting double foul, getting ready to rock and roll, Dean. I'm telling you, we're, like I said, it's like I said before, love this track. It's going to be a hell of a show right here to see how this all turns out. Jake Ellenson up there on the front row. Eric Talent's going to start right beside of him up there on that top side. Starting second, Ryan Pendleton. He's going to be third. Ryan trying to go 2 for 2 right here, Dean. Got the podium last night, as I mentioned, in the Next Gen Series, the Cruising Classics Next Gen Series, here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network with Goat Locker. Jamie Mullins, he's going to be in fourth. Brian Abbott will be fifth. Brandon Wallace, sixth. That is the top three. Is there you see the points. Already seen Haiti go in a couple of times. Matt Knight's actually went in. Matt Knight's actually one lap down right now. James Haiti, he wants to see that. Obviously, then you don't want to see nobody struggle or nothing, but you really want to see everybody that you're trying to get around right there racing for in the points. You want to see them maybe slip up. That way it just makes it a little bit easier on you. Make it into the next round. Real quick, want to give a shout out. My nephew Elijah turned 5 years old today. I believe he is coming over tonight. So after this broadcast, me and him gonna be doing a little playing, probably doing a little bit of racing. But here we go. Pace car is off. Jake Ellingson, he gets on the gas. Eric Talent does not get a good jump. Ryan Pendleton, he's gonna ease up right in behind Jake Ellingson. Talent slipping back. Mullins right behind him. Here comes Brian Abbott. Some of you out there in the chat hollering for Brian Abbott. Here he is, started 22nd. He's eased up here into that fourth spot as he just slid right around Jamie Mullins for the fourth spot. Brandon Wallace going to slide in a hole as well. Here we go. One car slides out. It's Eric Talent. Brian Abbott, he's going to try to go with him. They're going to try to challenge Ryan Pendleton and the leader, Jake Ellenson.
These two drivers, of course, Eric has then gained 21 positions. Brian, that you're riding on board with, is gained 18. I wouldn't be thinking about setting it up the inside just yet and make 3 abreast, and that's probably calm there and just keeping it behind the 05 machine of Eric. Just playing it safe for now. Click a few more laps off the board there, see Bunny a few more times, and keep up the great racing, because you know those wrecks have been occurring thick and fast with the back of the field there, and you don't want these wrecks to be occurring, because last time the man in the P3 position, of course, that you saw, ended up having a little bit of a solo wreck. And you said he got pushed from behind, didn't you, when you looked at that replay later on there? So, caution on the Speedway. I spoke too soon.
Another one back here in the back. Looks like that is James Haney in the 55, the Oreo man.
Always tag the fence.
Gets involved. Ooh. And also,
Oh, no.
I believe it was Tanner Bethea. So both of them actually get involved right here. Tanner gets set down to the wall. Or actually, that's Haney. Haney takes a hell of a ride. He looked like Duke Boys right there going through the grass.
Somebody's gone loose before.
But wow, there was a little bit of a spinning up there. I believe that was the 15 of Polk McCarthy, I believe.
Yep.
He was actually sideways right there, and then Tanner, he ends up getting up into the fence. Haney comes in there. He's got nowhere to go and just comes in, cleans out Bethea. But check out this ride right here by the 55. Check it out. Riding through the grass, trying to see if he can hold it straight. Whoo, boy, and then going over from grass to asphalt back to grass. Dean, that ain't just like driving across ice right there. Those are humps.
Oh, yeah.
He's getting airborne going through that. If we can ride on board, I guarantee you this is going to be a ride right there for this.
Well, I don't want to
55.
talk
Check
about
this
as
out.
well, too, is because I think if you actually do notice, there's a car on the inside apron. So these two tangle. And see the car on the inside apron comes back, and that throws, see the car off there here? The 20 goes to react. Yeah. And then, of course, the 20 tried to react. He's hit the fence, and then bingo, nowhere for James. And as you said, let's go on board. The old bumpy, that's going to rattle any feelings that you have in your teeth out. That's for sure, won't it?
Yeehaw, son. That's how you do it right there, ain't he? Able to steer clear of all of it. Try to keep that bad boy straight. And Tanner Bethea, actually, from what I'm seeing, did he get back out on the racetrack? I'm actually looking to see. No, he has actually disconnected. So
Ah.
is Michael McCarthy in the 69. Actually, no, Michael McCarthy is back. He is 3 laps down in the 69. But yes, Tanner did decide to call it a night. There you see James Hady right there. He's still on the lead lap, Dade. He's still got a shot right here. But there you see other guys like Barnett in the 39. He's 19 laps down, still sitting there trying to get some damage fixed. Oh, Dougie's still back out there. 9 laps down back there in the
Doug stuff.
23rd spot. So, yeah, there's old Dougie.
Yeah.
Looking pretty good out there right now.
Well-
Dean, honestly, there you see Dougie. Like I said, 9 laps down. He's back there in 23rd spot. His race is not over. It's not over by a long shot because we've already seen some crazy wrecks. We've already seen big ones. People's already been burning through those faster pairs, Dean. Doug can still get back in this and get a top 10. Believe it or not, and I'm not trying to throw any shade to him whatsoever or nothing, Doug's still got a shot to get a top 10 out of this, especially if all hell ends up breaking loose.
Absolutely. And on top of it, remember, he can help out Jake at some point in the future. If they start getting into lap traffic and all that sort of stuff, you know for a fact that they're going to help each other out. That's family for you. Family first. So there's a slight possibility of that, and you don't know if these other cars wreck and all of a sudden him and Jake, we've seen him and Jake before, actually, haven't we? 1 and 2 leading a race. So it is very possible, and you got to be in it to win it. So you keep going. Anything can happen. We aren't. We're just on the halfway point right now of this race. So, yeah, plenty of time. 6th
Yeah,
caution, of course. More to come.
Yeah, we'll see what happens right here. Obviously, it's like I say, Dean, all the time. Intensity is going to pick up. The anxiousness is going to pick up. Everything's going to pick up. The energy, however you want to look at it. It's going to get more electric. It's going to get more fiery out here for these guys because these guys know that some of them may be sitting there thinking, this is my only shot to get into the playoffs. Because obviously Super Speedway, it's a wild card. Anything can happen. So that's what some of these guys may be thinking. They may make some desperate moves to try to be able to lock themselves in the playoffs. We'll see how it happens. But Jake Ellenson, Ryan Pendleton on the front row, Jamie Mullins, and Brandon Wallace. That's the front 2 rows. Green flag in the air. Jake, he gets a pretty good jump. Pendleton trying to hold steady with him. No, he'll actually think about it. He'll jump back in line. Brandon Wallace, he's going to get kicked to the top side. Jamie Mullins going to ease down on the bottom side. Wallace trying to come down, pull some side draft, but not going to be able to do it. Jake has the lead. Pendleton wants it. Tried to take a shot to the top, but Jake threw the block. Here comes Jamie Mullins. He may try to go past all 3 of them, and he's looking for it. Jamie Mullins going to the lead.
Jamie's giving a run for her money side by side there with Jake. Sorry, with Jamie and Jake, of course, and Ryan. So they're going once again, line astern. The cars, and who's left for dry at the moment? On the tyre side. So that is Jake, of course, of the 27 machine. 66 on the inside. They need a bit of a push as the pack is starting to break up a little bit, but then they start catching up again there, Jacob. Cameron's still down at pit road there. Steve Bartlett still got that fix. I'm thinking who's going to go 3 wide there for a second. That's the 23 machine of Ryan.
Oh! Jamie Mullins and Jake Ellison door banging just a little bit coming off of turn 4. Both of them straight up met in the middle. And Jamie's going to lead that lap by 3/100ths of a second, but Jake's not going to give it up. Here he comes, Jake Ellison in the 27 on the outside, trying to roll, trying to go for 2 in a row. Get some help from his buddy Ryan Pendleton in the 23. Brandon Wallace right behind him. How about James Kaufman up here? We saw him a while ago. He got caught up in a wreck. He's able to ease back up here. He's got Jamie Mullins right in front of him. All these guys thunder as they go through the quad oval just past halfway here in Atlanta.
Somebody exits the pit road right now, and bingo. And look at this. I don't mind... Get that little camera guy on top of that, the guy that sits right on top of the car there at the moment, hovering the camera around. Hello. Giving everybody a wave. You can see the cars behind there. Just start to do single file, of course, well, double file through this 41 machine. You get some brilliant shots of the liveries, don't you? That you usually get when you're in a race, but you can see them wiggling around, putting another lap there as a pass the Geico restart zone, and then say hello to Barney. Can you even see him? Bang, there he is. God, at that speed, it's very hard to see the bastard.
Look, I'll say this, Dade. I'm not really worried about looking at liveries when I'm racing. I'm looking at the track. And obviously, if somebody just gets spun out in front of me. Then I'll look at the livery because I'm trying to figure out a way to get around him. So that's the way I've always looked at it. I mean, obviously, a lot of people love to see the cool paint schemes, but when you get in these cars, you're not worried about what the other car looks like. You're just trying to figure out how to get around him. So, I mean, you see a lot of hard racing. Check out this 8-pack here. Andy Kurtz is looking like he's trying to go from the bottom to the top, trying to figure out which lane he wants to get in. Everything's really stalemated right now, Dean, but Andy gonna ease right in behind Chance Taylor. We see a little bit of movement right here on this bottom side with Westenberg up here with talent right behind him. And Cameron Westenberg in that 28, he is really starting to move around as he's riding on board with Andy Kurtz. He's up there with the yellow stripes on the bottom, which is showing that he is a rookie. And so it might be one of them rookies
caution
in the field as we got a caution on the Speedway. Mark Hollifield in the 29.
I'll ask you really quickly because Andy's got a bug splattered right in the middle of your vision there. I'm not quite sure if that's actually going to be in his vision real quick there. Well, not so bad, really. But no windscreen wipers on these machines, right? So you're stuck with that until you get to pit road for a tear-off, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's just a window brace, honestly. And, I hate them damn things. I really do, Dean. I mean, I'm sorry, folks, but I hate them suckers. And, you just hate to see that right there. But Hollifield, you get to see him gets tagged in the back end. Right there's the 69. Michael McCarthy, actually 3 laps down. He's going to tag him in the back end and then just go straight up. And James Haney, Oreo man.
Slams
oh, no.
him.
Cracked the cookies and shut the milk clean out of the car. Wow, I hate to see that right there for James Haney right there. He's going to have a little bit of damage in that 55. Everybody able to steer clear of Mark Hollifield right there to be able to get around him. There you see Haney just riding the wall going down through there. But, Haney's just an innocent bystander out of all this right there. Because McCarthy, like I said, unfortunate.
This reminds me of what you do in the bumper cars, right, at the carnival, isn't it? Like, what you try to do is you try to go around the edge and you try to push somebody bang into the wall like that. Just fully slam on them. It's not intentional, of course, because he already lost it at that point. Yeah.
Well, Dean, if you look at that right there, he kind of rolled the wall right there. Obviously, he gets off of it. Right. But for that split second, he's riding the wall down through there. I think he actually had his hands up, wondering what the hell was he thinking, probably. Either that or maybe had both of them up and maybe giving him the old double bird, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that might have been what it was. I'm kidding, folks. I'm just a little bit of entertainment right there for your laughter right there. I'm kidding. But he might have had both his hands up going, why do that or whatever. But we're seeing a couple guys go down pit road. Ryan Pendleton at 23s is down as well. Cameron Westenberg, I believe he actually decided to forego tires and fuel altogether and stay out. He's the only driver, I believe, that I saw right there stay out on the racetrack, with the exception of I believe, Chance Taylor. So, so this is going to get very, very interesting, actually. I think Pope McCarthy decided to stay out as well. Folks, we'll take a quick commercial break, one more quick one, and then we'll be right back here in Atlanta.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Folks, we're back here at Atlanta. I'm telling you, it's been a hell of a show so far with every bit of what's been going on. And Dane, I was going to pull a driver into the booth, but not going to be able to do it just yet because they are getting double file for a restart. So obviously don't want to pull anybody in if they're trying to get some kind of strategy lined up with a driver or whatever, and may not want to have it heard on the air. So we'll wait, and if there is another call, yeah, there you go. There you go. Throw the beeper in there. But we'll wait and see if everything plays out. And see who's going to get this win. But Cameron Westenberger, how about this? 20th up to 1st. Chance Taylor, and keep in mind, Westenberg did not even qualify. Actually, scratch that. He did qualify, he just didn't practice. So apparently he had enough faith in his car to not even practice but try to qualify. But he started 20th, but here he is up at the front. Chance Taylor started 18th. He's up to second. Sean Pope McCarthy started 13th. He's up to third. So that's what you see, Nate, here at these super speedways. Guys starting at the back, starting to work their way up to the front. But look right behind them. How about this? Andy Kurtz, the number 8 Budweiser car. He's up there in that 4th spot with McDonald, Wilms, Ryan Pendleton, Jamie Mullins, Eric Talent, and Brian Abbott up here in the top 10 for 22nd. Green flag is in the air. Wessenberg, he gets a pretty good jump. Back tires kind of spun around just a little bit, but he's able to keep it straight. Chance Taylor, he's up here on the top side. He's going to ease down right in front of Sean Pope McCarthy. Kurtz up here on the top trying to find a way around. Maybe get some help from that 68 of McDonald. He's going to try to do it all by himself. Shades of Dale Jr. pulling some side draft, trying to go around the top side. That being Andy Kurtz.
And there you have it right now. There's Andy who is starting in back in P4 position where he started this race. And make that actually P3 if he can make it stick on the outside. This is a 14, isn't it? Of Chance Taylor going a little bit close up at the fence. Ryan and Jake hovering there in the 5th and 6th place because of those pit stop situations, of course. But remember, Andy's the one on that. So the pit stop strategy is very interesting. I'll show that on the graphic at the moment because you can see this. Yeah, drivers are boxed on lap 19. Drivers are boxed on lap 28. And drivers are boxed on lap 48. So 3 differences in the tires that they have between this pack of top 6 or so.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many strategies going on, and these guys, obviously, some may be planning for later on in the race. Some might be planning for right now because they may be thinking that some chaos is going to happen right there in the middle of the track, and they don't want to get caught up in any of it. Wow, Pope McCarthy got really sideways off of 2, able to keep it straight. Up on the top side, Chance Taylor, he's trying to go for the lead. Is there you see, all the way back. Probably around the 12th, 13th, maybe even 14th spot, actually, all for the top 13. All of them pace file formation as they work through the quad oval. Chance Taylor got the 14 up front with Kurtz right behind him, trying to give him the shove. Pendleton up there on the top side as well as Jake Ellingson. But on the bottom, Cameron Wessenberg, who restarted on the front row here after the caution. Wessenberg trying to hold the bottom, but Taylor, he is clear, all clear. Chance Taylor to the lead, but he slides up. Here comes Wessenberg once again on the bottom.
Yeah, he's getting left. I hung for dry a little bit, I have to say. Oh, he got loosey-goosey on that one. And the number 8 of Andy's going to give him a little bit of a push. Almost 3 in the middle there. Everybody was almost going to let him go at the moment. He was going to be in the middle. They're going to like, all right, I don't know who we're going to get behind and support at the moment. It's 26 laps to go. You still have to get behind somebody. You don't want to get left high and dry, as that pack is starting to split, I believe, a little bit from the rest of them. Yeah, look at that. 2 packs form currently at the moment on the track map.
Top 14 right now up here in this big pack right here. Like I said, basically got about 7 on the top, 7 on the bottom, give or take. That's basically what you got right here. Pace file formation, everybody trying to ride, but Dean, you talked about it, trying to run the middle. I've actually seen a couple actually try to slide up there in that middle from the bottom, but that middle lane will be used before the night is over with, because they're going to know 100% that they have got to try to get somewhere. They got to go where the other ones ain't. They're already probably making deals with some of the guys in the race chat. Hey, will you go with me? Or will you go here? Or will you go there? They may not even go to the middle. Some of these guys on the top, they may say screw it and go all the way to the wall and stick the other ones in the middle. So there's a lot of crazy strategies that can happen right here. We'll find out, but I'll say this. If they got any strategy, if they got any game plan, they better hurry the hell up because they got 23 laps to go when they get to the line.
You're right. This is where teammates really do come into play. So much, because if your teammates are around you, at least in your car, they're going to be there to help you out. And that's crucial. And when it comes to push comes to shove, and that's contact the background. I think it'll be turned. Again, it's at the RM machine. It doesn't want to be involved in another one, Mr. James. Luckily, they're pointing in the right direction. There's Alex Cruz back a little bit there. There's Matt. And further back, there's in this battle, of course, this is your top 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can all count. They're all there. And once again, I'm showing you that one there, Jacob. Oh, thankfully, the rest of the pack aren't falling back too far, because how interesting would that be if they managed to catch that other pack of cars there. There's no room on the
telling you
track to
right
get
now.
the OT done. Overtake.
Poor James Haney. Poor James Haney. I'm telling you, the Oreo has been crumbling a bunch tonight, but he has fought through every bit of it. It's still, Dean, still, he has been able to keep that sucker straight. He is up inside the top 10. He just got around Eric Talent
Yep.
for that 10th spot, that 55.
Ooh.
I'm telling you, there is a possibility that we could be talking to James Haney when this sucker's all said and done, because he has been doing a fantastic job. He's got to actually ease down to the bottom side of Talent, up on the top side, but all of it up front. Chance Taylor and Cameron Westenberg, both these guys right here, leading two pretty good trains. I mean, you look on the bottom, you got Sean Pope McCarthy in the 15. You got right behind him is the 68 of Stephen McDonald. Right behind them is James Kaufman and then Haney. So then you go to the top side. Chance Taylor up here. He's got Andy Kurtz. He's got Ryan Pendleton. He's got Jake Ellingson. And he's also got Jamie Mullins back here as well with Eric Talent. So a lot of big names right here within the top 10 right here, Dean. That, I mean, basically both your lines is damn near equal. It's just about who's going to get the right push at the right time to get their line to advance.
I'm seeing at the moment there, Jacob, you can probably give it, but I'm seeing at the moment it's either Cameron or Chase that's getting a little loosey out of one of these turns, as you mentioned. Oh, and that blinking's not going to help as well for the 28. Sometimes the blinking could just be on my end, not necessarily for the rest of the drivers, but I do think sometimes, most of the time, actually everybody's going to see it. But as you know, I can almost go single file, but he gets a little loosey-goosey, those two.
We got a caution back here in
Let's
the
see.
back, actually looking for it right
Steve,
now.
maybe? No. Says Steve went off track, but Steve just come out of pit road. How is
I'm
that
still looking
possible?
for it on my end, and I'm still
Oh,
looking,
yeah, Steve-
folks. I'm
there's
trying to find
Steven.
it. Oh my goodness.
Stevie just came out of pit road. He's been in there for give or take 34 minutes. And come out and tag somebody?
We may have some beef
pit
right
road?
here, Dave.
Oh, that's probably beef.
Oh,
No, yeah,
wow.
Steve had come out of pit road. All right, so he's back in the race. Remember, he had 34 minutes in there, so he's down a ton of laps. Let's have a look. I hope this is not beef, but he's rapidly approaching. Of course, he's got fresh tires and probably not that much gasoline to go to the end now. And approaching this at a rapid speed. Oh, he got loosey-goosey there. Oh.
Oh!
What do you think about that one, my friend?
Oh boy, that one's
But-
tight right there, Dean.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if we had him in the chat, which actually, believe it or not, we
You wanna?
actually do.
Yeah.
So yeah, may as well. We'll bring him up in here,
Bring him
give you folks a
Few
little bit
drivers
of
gonna go in pit road while you
entertainment.
do that, yeah.
Yeah, we've got a couple guys actually easing down pit road right now, but we're gonna go ahead, bring up Mr. Steven out of that 39 right there. Steven, was that beef right there with the other guy, or did you just kind of lose it down there on the bottom?
I don't think Stevie got a copy?
Steven.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Button.
Ah, you're right. Did you hear what Jacob asked you, sir?
Yeah, I just got loose and overcorrected. That was my bad.
Okay, we just curious because we've seen some stuff like that happen, man. And I'm telling you, sometimes we end up thinking that there was some beef right there, but we just double checking. We're just making sure everything was good on everything and trying to get a little entertainment going on, buddy.
Yeah. And Steve,
Yeah, we're good. I'm
yeah.
not the type to do that.
But you were in pit road for quite some time, right? From an earlier incident, I remember you just kept you'd spent a ton of time, didn't you, in pit road? Was that correct?
Yeah, I downshifted one too many times and blew my engine.
Oh, that's what it was. It was an engine change. Well, that was pretty good for the team to get that engine out pretty quickly, get you back out on the track.
Pretty great
Alrighty,
job.
well that is all right. Well, Stephen Bartlett, still down on pit road, buddy. We'll holler at you later.
Thank you.
So no beef.
Wow.
We tried to bring up the entertainment.
We tried.
Dean says happy birthday to who, my friend? Is that to me from the other day? I'm not quite sure about to anybody. Was it your birthday, Dean? Or it's not yours, Jacob?
I'm not sure.
Whose birthday is
Oh,
it today?
yeah. Oh, yes. It was my nephew's, actually.
Oh, your
I'm
nephew's
trying to
birthday.
put him back
oh,
in
that's
the right
right.
chat.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm trying to
get him in
put
the-
Bartlett back in the chat and I
Get
had
him
him in the
right
wrong
chat.
one there for a
Oh,
minute.
yeah.
And I still
Yeah.
don't think, I finally got him in there. Probably
You
Jake
see,
probably
just
put
to
him
let
in there
everybody
after I
know, if you
screwed
are
up enough,
tuning
but-
in, we obviously, the drivers are in Discord chats, okay? And the powers that be that we have as broadcasters, of course, is that we can pull drivers up, but they've all signed that agreement to say yes for chat. Yeah, it's broadcast, it's entertainment aspect. And, of course, what we could really do wrong, of course, is put the drivers in the wrong chat. And once they go green, they drivers can't move themselves into any chat. They got their hands on the steering wheel. They're driving. And that could be very frustrating for them. So we always try to time it up right before that pace car lights, goes green, because we don't want to spoil any driver's party, of course, by our godlike powers that we have up here in the casting booth.
Yeah, we don't want to get banned from them or anything like that.
Yeah.
But Dane, what you was talking about, yes, my little nephew Elijah turned 5 years old today. So happy birthday to him. Can't wait till he gets over here. Me and him's gonna be probably watching a lot of movies, playing around or whatever. So
Yeah, not Days of
can't wait
Thunder
to see
and the
him, and-
NASCAR series on Netflix or all that
we might
sort of
be.
jazz.
We
Yeah.
might be. You never know. Never know. We might end up watching a little bit of racing. Never know. But
Do you
here we
reckon he
go.
can drive in
Chance
your
Taylor.
rig? Anyway, we'll talk about that later. I was going to ask you about
We
racing
might
rig.
try that later. Yeah, we might try that. Anyway, Chance Taylor, he gets on the gas. He's got Ryan Pendleton right behind him. How about Andy Kurz? This man, folks, I'm telling you, he's got 4 wins on the season. He ended up having to start from the pits. He started 4th, but necessarily he started from the pits with 2 laps down, has drove all the way back up here to the 3rd spot. You cannot make this up. Here he goes. Down on the bottom side, Taylor's going to get kicked
Chance
up
is
to the
getting
top
murdered.
side. Here comes
Oh.
Pendleton. Pendleton down on the bottom. He's going to take the lead. Chance Taylor is starting to slip back right into the clutches of Jamie Mullins, and he has basically been put on the brakes as Taylor jumped right in front of him. Mullins had absolutely nowhere to go, and then Mullins just got bypassed by about the first half of the field. Honestly, Dean, as here we go. Kurtz looking down to the bottom, trying to get some help. He's going to get a little bit from Stephen McDonald. Kaufman up on the top with talent right behind him. But Ryan Pendleton has the lead, and Jake Ellingson. Wow, this is going to be a hell of a finish with Jake Ellingson up here in second, trying to look for the lead as Kaufman's going to try to do it all by himself.
14 laps to go, and one driver of Andy on the last pit stop was boxed back in lap 28. And that's exactly what we saw the other day, wasn't it? Because Chance Taylor, of course, took a gamble, unfortunately did not pay off, because his boots are absolutely cooked and dusted, and he can't keep up with the pace of this rest of the field at the moment. So I guess he should have taken that pit stop there before, would have dropped some places. But these other drivers have gambled perfectly. Ryan, has he gambled enough to beat Jake? And can he beat James? And can he beat Andy Kurtz, of course? There's your top 4. Plus, don't count out all the other gladiators here. 12 to go.
Yeah, but the big thing about this is obviously these moves is going to get more aggressive, depending on however they worked out with tires, or if they've got fresh boots, or if they got old boots, or if they just got kind of worn down boots. I mean, you don't really. There you saw it just a second ago.
Oh,
but how everything's lined
69
up as
now.
well. There's 69 back around. Hollifield gets into it. Hollifield trying to come up the track. 69 almost gets slammed by the 32, Jeremiah Holt.
Oh, it's green. It's green on the Speedway.
We are still green
Wow.
up here at the front as Kurtz is going to take a shot for the lead on Ryan Pendleton.
And I'm sure after people probably even heard that one saying, oh, it's going to be a caution. Nuh-uh. Race Control's deem, it's green to the end, and let's go, hopefully, with 10 to go. So here it is, maybe the 3 that you were talking about. That puff of smoke got me out. I don't know where that was there, Jacob, but yeah, here we go. Opportunist times. Now, friends and teammates, no longer, my friends. It's race win up for grabs.
See what happens. It's going to get very interesting. Pendleton up on the top. Jake right behind him. Jamie Mullins up here on the top side as well. Kaufman, he's got Andy Kurtz right in front of him. Eric Talent, he's actually been flip-flopping back here. He's actually right in the middle. Don't know really where he wants to go. Cameron Wessenberg, he's eased up here. He's got around Alex Cruz, and he's trying to jump up here and get him a little bit, see if he can get up here and mix it up with the big dogs up here at the front. But Pendleton, Jake Ellingson, and Kurtz Dorfbanger just a little bit. Mullins right behind him. And then here comes Kaufman down on the bottom as well. But Pendleton, he's basically playing blocker, Dean. He's going from the top, he's going from the bottom, and he's got that right. But if you start making aggressive blocks in the wrong way as Kaufman, there you see already pushing up on the bottom. if you start making aggressive blocks from the bottom to the top, you start doing that, and these guys start getting runs, you can easily get dumped. Because sooner or later, people's give a damn is going to be thrown out the window, and they're just going to gas up and just drive right through you if you try to block that much.
You can see, oh, now they're forming a single column at the moment, which is interesting. See, James had to tuck in at the moment because he was getting left high and dry out there by himself because he saw Ryan and Jake in the middle there and Jamie pushing each other a little bit further and further up the road as they are. Who's taking a gamble up on the inside? They're going to cut that off completely. There's two other drivers. That's Cameron, remember, who's leading this race for some time, and James Kaufman going for it.
Oh, Mullins!
And now you see, yeah, that's your three abreast there. Somebody's got dropped off big time. That's the 66 or 68, sorry. 66 of Mullins. So now Ryan leading from Jake, Andy, and James Kaufman. There is these two are starting to form a bit of a gap, but you don't want that much of a gap, do you? When you're getting down to about 6 to go.
Woo, Kaufman back here, he almost gets spun around. He was trying to keep it straight as best he could and not slide up into curves. And Dean, coming to the line right here with 6 laps to go, we may be in for another photo finish like like NASCAR Cup Series was here a couple of weeks ago. This place has a tendency to end up having some photo finishes, some crazy finishes here on this mile-and-a-half oval that we have now. So we may end up seeing Jake back there just biding his time, but Andy Kurtz may try to play spoiler. And Cameron Wessenberg, he has been moving through these guys up here. He's got talent right in front of him. There you see, look at this run by Wessenberg trying to get up here and get him behind Talent. Talent's had enough of it. He's got to ease it down to the bottom. Hit the line that time. 5 laps to go. Kurtz kicked up to the top side. Wessenberg going to try to see if he can get him another spot on the bottom.
And blocked off at the moment there too, and shut the door on that one. Here we go. Get a nice tow for the 05 machine. Give Eric a bit of a push there. 21 positions gained. Eric wants, I could take 23 positions gained and take the 23 machine away from this race victory. But Ryan is covering off both lanes, essentially going in the middle here. Has to go up to the high side ahead of Jake. At this point soon, Jake's going to be like, I need to take a run for this race lead. Problem is, they're going to box in Jake. Look at this. 05 can box in. Jake's got absolutely nowhere to go. An opportunity right now, you have to start thinking about, do you stick your nose out there and take a chance at Ryan for the race win? Or is Ryan going to be clever enough to hold the middle? Look at that, Ryan's holding the middle there. He's blocking everybody. He's like, not on my watch. I want this race win.
Yeah, but it's like I said, Dean, I mean, those aggressive blocks like that can get you turned in a hurry. It just depends on how everything plays out and depends on how aggressive the guy behind you wants to go. Because if you put the block on somebody, you are at their mercy. They can either lift or they can drive through you. And I'm not saying anything bad about blocking. I've done it in the past before, but we'll see how it works out. But I'm telling you, if Jake is able to get clear of this 05, I think that 27 needs to ease down in front of Talent and go ahead and try to get the run. Maybe not. There you see Pendleton. Eases down to the bottom, jumps back up to the top, tries to put the block on Jake. Jake has to get out of the gas. 2 laps to go. Eric Talent down on the bottom trying to get that 28 of Wessenberg to give him a shove.
What would you do at the moment if you're the likes of anybody else that's trying to help out Jake? Because Jake, he can't, because the 5 machine there is going to punish Jake. Jake needs to get ahead of the 5 machine. And of course, that's Eric who wants to win this race as well. To Annie lurking in the background, 28, of course, we met of Cameron. He's got the pace when he needs it. But look at that, Ryan, once again, is parking that car in all the right places, as you said. I don't think it's intentionally blocking. He's just taking the perfect line to make it as difficult. Final lap.
Talent is there. Talent is there. Andy's door. Wessenberg right behind him. We may be in for a photo finish. Andy Kurtz had enough of it. 3 wide for third. Kurtz stuck in the middle. They door bang all to hell. Kurtz goes up into the fence with Ellingson, and that is all Ryan Pendleton needed for winner here at Atlanta for the Veterans for Life ARCA Series. Ryan Pendleton gets the win. Eric Talent is going to come home second, and Cameron Wessenberg is going to get third. James Kaufman fourth, and Brian Abbott rounds out the top 5. What a finish.
What? Ryan held off at the end, didn't he? Held off at the end. A bit of a gamble up the inside. That'll actually push Jake back to 11th, actually. And Andy back to P16. Sometimes you think, is it worth the gamble? So just to gain a potential podium position has now scrubbed a ton of points out of those drivers. But nothing this man needs to worry about. Ryan, of course, Eric Big Smile. He was probably the most gained positions for the day. 22 gained for Ryan. And I'll tell you, well, so for Eric and look at that, I'd have to say Ryan did a solid job, didn't he? He can't even turn them. Come on, do some burnouts, my friend. No. Is he going to do like one of those NASCAR drivers that says, I don't do burnouts because, you know, I can't remember what the reference was, but he said something about, do you see athletes do burnouts or something like that? Oh, well, after, I don't know what that is, but anyway.
He is straight up smoking it big time right there. Ryan Pendleton ends up getting the win. Dean, if we could get a replay of that last lap and kind of see how all that chaos happened right there with Jake and Andy Kurtz, I would love to see how all that worked out right there because that was absolutely crazy. You'll see it right here. This is coming to the white flag right here, folks. Kurtz right behind Jake. Obviously, they're trying to work together. Pendleton doing the blocking both ways. And then this is where, like I said, it was going to get real right here. It gets real. Westenberg eases down to the bottom, tries to get the shove to Talent. Talent ends up getting up to his door. And then here comes Kurtz. At this point, he tried to take a shot to the top side. Nothing was there. And then at this point, he gets the run. He just sticks it straight in the middle right there.
Yep.
You got to go where you got to go. It's the last lap, Dane. You got to go. And it looked like maybe Jake came down and pinched him just a little bit in the Westenberg. It ends up killing both of their runs, ends up killing both the races, really. And then both of them end up getting sent up into the fence. And then Jake's got to keep it as high as he possibly can. Gets bypassed by a couple of guys. There goes James Haney. Yeah. James Haney right there on that cut line. So this is something that James maybe needed because he got around both Jake and Andy Cruz. Got him some much needed points right there. But folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the results, and your podium finishers don't go anywhere. Folks, we're back here at Atlanta. There you saw it, Premier Racing Setups. Go over to premierracingsetups.com. Enter the code NASRA, N-A-S-R-A. You will get 15% off your order, and also 15% will get donated back into the North America Sim Racing Association. And as I say all the time, if you want the setups at the Redneck Announcer races, go check them out, premierracingsetups.com. Ryan Pendleton, he's on the podium last night, ended up finishing third. He finishes first here tonight. Eric Talent, he's going to get, wow, big time movement. As you said, 22 spots, did not qualify. Started at the back. Started 24th. He's going to end up finishing second. How about Cameron Westenberg? Wow, he didn't even practice. Tried to go out there and qualify. Started 20th. He's going to round out the top three with James Kaufman and Brian Abbott. That is the top five, with Jamie Mullins finishing in sixth. Timothy Wilms will end up finishing in the seventh spot. Matt Knights is right there at that cut line with James Haney. He ends up getting the better of Haney by one spot, finishing eighth. Haney finishes ninth with Stephen McDonald rounding out the top 10. Jake Ellenson, after that last lap chaos with Andy Kurtz, Jake's going to end up getting 11th with Alex Cruz finishing in the 12th spot. Mark Hollifield's going to get 13th. Jeremiah Holt will get 14th. Sean Pope McCarthy gets 15th. He's the last driver to finish on the lead lap. And Andy Kurtz, somehow or another, he ends up finishing one lap down to the leaders after that chaos. He's going to end up finishing 16th with Chance Taylor 17th. Cameron Mason 18th. Doug Ellenson will finish 19th with John Anthony rounding out the top 20. The rest of the field, Michael McCarthy, Brandon Wallace, Steve Bartlett, Tanner Bethay, unfortunate to see for him, and Lucas Lyons. Looks like he did not, he actually did race. He was actually the one that was flipping over at the end of the race. It was on his lid. But folks, we'll go ahead, see if we can bring in Mr. Ryan Pendleton. And Pendleton, actually, he's the only one in the waiting room, so may end up having a quick one right here. Dane, we'll go ahead, bring up Mr. Ryan Pendleton. And Ryan, we talked to you last night. You finished on the podium. You got the win tonight here in Atlanta. What was the key to get the win here tonight?
Oh, I definitely have to say the key was my teammate Jake behind me. Did a really good job that last little stint there when I got the lead to just help me out and run clean. The guys up front seemed like they ran clean all night, so just huge help from the teammate. Jamie Mullins was up there pushing us too, so huge shout out to those guys.
Ryan Pendleton gets the win, locks himself into the playoffs. We got him right here on the NRE Power post race interviews. Ryan, like I said, lock that number 23 into the playoffs for this ARCA series. That's got to give you a whole boost of confidence going into the rest of the season and obviously into the playoffs later on in the season.
Yeah, it's always fun to come out on Thursday night and run with these guys. I don't get to that often, so good group of guys, fun league, laid back. So yeah, always fun to come out here and try to compete with them.
Dean, you got anything for Ryan, buddy?
Oh, no, Ryan's just on a bit of a rampage of late, isn't it, my friend? You did a fantastic... And you got to remember, too, this is another thing, even though I don't know too much about the tyre wear and strategy and stuff like that, but you only took two pit stops in this race, my friend, and you boxed back on lap 48. So you took it to the end on that one, so that's almost over half distance on those tyres, and managed to make it stick towards the end to get the race win.
Yeah, and to be honest, on that last stop, I only took right side tires. That was really probably the only difference between, maybe myself and Jake and Jamie Mullins is I knew the track position was key. Super hard to pass without making it 3 wide, and that can be challenging to do, especially in these cars. So I risked it with just right side tires and ended up working out.
And another quick question: you said Jake was your teammate, right? And did you know that Jake and who was it, Alex got into a little bit of a tangle towards the end there, and they dropped their positions back to 11th and 12th after Jake, you said, gave you a nice push there towards the end?
Yeah, he did. He gave me a great push on that backstretch, and then I kind of started focusing on the car to my inside, and I saw something going on in my rearview mirror. Unfortunate they got caught up in that, but kind of part of, I guess we'll call Atlanta Super Speedway racing. But yeah, huge bummer for them. But I think they had a good time right up until that.
Was that the agreement that Jake was like, "Yes, you've got it, Ryan. I'm going to push you across the line"? Was that how it was debated?
No, Jake and I always have so much fun. Yeah, I mean that's kind of, we don't even have to talk about it. Goat Locker teammates will help each other out. But Super Speedway, last lap, if there's a chance for this pass, he would have taken it. But I think he was pretty bundled up back there. He was just a good teammate, so he could have pressed the issue. He didn't, and unfortunately, he got the worst of it.
Ryan Pendleton, like I said, finished on the podium, got third last night. He ends up getting the win tonight. Ryan, before we let you go, have you got anybody that you want to thank that made the win possible here tonight in Atlanta?
Yeah, as always, everyone that supports Goat Locker, I'll make it quick, but you guys, Nazareth 360, awesome broadcast, as always. Redbeard makes all our logos that are really cool, new stuff coming out. Right Now Roofing, Jam Printing Promotions, Cruising Classics, the sponsor I have on my car. And then the lead sponsor for tonight's league is Veterans for Life Foundation. So huge shout out to them. Everything they're doing for us is just unbelievable. I keep saying it. Keep checking out all the social media at Goat Locker, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. They got everything. I think at TikTok. Go check out what they're doing, and appreciate everyone supporting the league.
Absolutely. Ryan Pendleton gets the win here tonight. Ryan, congratulations on the win. We'll see you next week at, I believe it is Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see you then, buddy.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
I have to double check myself on that one, old Biggles. I believe they're at Michigan next week.
Yeah, here it is, my friend.
I was right. It is Michigan, and then it's Homestead, and then that rounds out the regular season. I actually do see Cameron Westenberg up there in the race comms. May see if we can try to pull him down, get a quick word with him real quick. We're actually going to bring him in right here. Cameron Westenberg. Got you on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, brother. Congratulations on that third place finish. Just tell us about your race, bud, because it looked like for a little bit you were motoring through the field.
Yeah, that last caution, whatever it was, I came down and put on a set of tires and was able to come back up through there. And I don't know if I got tight or I think I got the apron a little bit and got up into those guys. I wasn't sure if it was 2 wide. I definitely didn't know it was 3 wide, but headed for those guys. It was pretty fun racing up there.
And, Cameron, you were one of the guys that actually started at the back of the field. You started 20th. You gained 17 spots. You wasn't the biggest mover. Talent actually had you by, I believe, 5 spots. You got 22 spots to your 17, but still, starting at the back here in these ARCA cars at Atlanta, just give everybody kind of an idea of how chaotic it is to start at the back of these super speedways, especially here at the 1.5 mile like Atlanta.
Yeah, I had a little trouble there at the start trying to figure out everything. I was restarting the second at first, then I started restarting the first and was getting a better launch there. And just really going down the straightaways, trying to keep it right there on the bottom. And I ran the bottom the whole race and just went around everybody who was at the top.
Cameron Westenberg ends up getting a podium finish here tonight in that 3rd spot. Cameron, before we let you go, have you got anybody that you want to thank that made the podium finish possible for you tonight?
I'd like to thank Goat Locker Racing League for having me on here, and Tanner Bethea, he was a big part of getting me in all this. Auto Performance Engines, they helped me a lot with my racing, and that's about it. I appreciate
Cameron
y'all.
Westenberg.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Cameron Westenberg gets the podium finish here tonight at Atlanta. Cameron, congratulations on that 3rd place finish. We'll see you at Michigan next week, buddy.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, it was
Cameron
very lucky
Westenberg.
on
Wow.
that the replay, wasn't it? When the other two came together, because if they didn't come together and had that speed, he could have been dicing with a P4 or a P5. But either way, he could, as you just heard from Cameron, he said he committed to the inside line all night long and was confident with it, and it paid off at the end, didn't it? Because if he was up on that high side, maybe he wouldn't have tangled with the other two drivers. But he got to get that podium, and he got to take taste the bubbly stuff on the podium. So there you have it, there, Jacob.
Absolutely.
So that's our results for that. Of course, going back to that calendar as you mentioned, we are off to next, as you said, Michigan.
Woo! Michigan. It's going to be a fast one, Dean. But before we get to Michigan, what's your thoughts at Atlanta, buddy? Because I'm telling you, you've had a little bit of experience, with the DSR Electric Truck Series. Obviously, Cops is going to be at Atlanta here very, very soon in the very, very coming weeks on the Friday Night Series. But, what's your mindset right here with Atlanta? Because it always puts on a hell of a show. It really does.
Well, I like the super speedways. I really do. I enjoy them. They, it gives a little bit more. Generally, I don't know. Sometimes if you have a big field there, it gives a little bit more time. I like the lap trucks and lap cars and stuff like that as well too, Jacob. I like it when they come into the mix because everybody else is battling. Sometimes there's 2 other trucks that are battling or cars that are battling, and so I don't know. I do like the super speedways. I didn't realize the banking so much of Atlanta really, because you don't know that until you go on that gyro cam. That's because. That's what makes it tough, because naturally, no doubt, the trucks, the cars, of course, want to slide out a little bit there and loosey-goosey them. I'm still getting used to it. I enjoy it. I really do. I enjoy Atlanta, and I enjoy a lot of these tracks. Of course, I'm more of a road fan still at the end of the day. I don't know. It's hard to say. It is, because these trucks aren't designed for road courses. It's a different kettle of fish, but this is also fun because this is wheel-to-wheel racing all the way, isn't it? Because also in road courses, as you get, like, you've got 20, 30, 40 seconds or a minute and change that separate all the cars too on road tracks. So there isn't sometimes as much entertainment and excitement as what you do get on ovals.
Yeah, and you ain't got a lot of room for error either, especially when you're side by side, door to door. Saw 3 wide a couple of times here tonight. Saw some big wrecks. Actually saw Lucas Lyons go over on his lid early on in the race. It was a hell of a ride for Lucas, and hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he's not shell shocked, I guess you could say. And but obviously he's got that win. It's got to help him out later on when we get to the playoffs, because he'll be locked into the playoffs. So good deal for that. But folks, I believe that is going to do it here for the broadcast here at Atlanta. I want to go ahead, give a huge shout out to every single one of these drivers out here that puts on a hell of a show every Thursday night for the Veterans for Life ARCA series. It's awesome to come in here, call some great racing, see some great racing, see my buddy from down under the Australian, Dean Biggles, have an opportunity, sit here, talk with him, cut up, shoot the bull, however you want to look at it. But these guys out here being able to put on a fantastic show, they make our job so easy, and I believe I can speak for Dean on that as well. Also, want to give a shout out to you, the fans out there watching every single Thursday night, following your friends, family, fellow co-workers, however you want to look at it, and showing support for these gladiators coming out here every Thursday night and putting it all on the line for glory here in the Veterans for Life ARCA series. Also want to thank all of the sponsors, obviously Veterans for Life, that sponsors the ARCA series. Also Cruising Classics for sponsoring the Next Gen series. Jam Printing and Promotions, Red Beer Designs, Goat Locker, Patrick DeBick, everything that they got going on, and obviously Nazareth 360 Racing Network, Brody LaBeouf, Cody Knott, Tyler Dittmer, all that they do for Nazareth. Folks, it's going to be a wild one next week. We've already seen a wild one here in Atlanta. It's going to be a fun one next week at Michigan. The 2 Mile Super Speedway back-to-back, Dean. It's going to be a good one for the Australian. Dean Biggles, I am the Redneck Announcer, Jake Reeves, saying as I always say, be safe, be kind, be fast, and we'll see you all the way up north in Michigan.